आप हमारे चक्कर में मत फंसना, आपको बेच के कहाँ जाएंगे हम।
A warm welcome to you on filmeshilmy.com and congratulations on Srikanth. The
Thank you so
film
much.
has had its initial reviews and I've seen there's been so much love given to the film as it rightfully deserves. Tell me about your initial thoughts of the reactions that are coming in.
I knew the reactions would be nice because I know the kind of film I have made, but it's overwhelming to see this kind of reaction. I didn't expect like this. It's like crazy, and it's like almost everybody. I think Shrikant has united the entire critics together. It's like almost all the critics are giving great reviews, which is very rare to see, and I'm really happy to see that people are liking and understanding the film that I wanted to make more than liking and the way that the reviews are coming in. The reason why I wanted to make the film, they are writing the similar reason that's the best part. So that really makes me happy.
I think it's very inspiring because it's based on the real life visually impaired industrialist. I think it gives so much hope uh, to people who obviously are visually impaired, to people who are told generally that, bus, this is the sort of limit that you can have in your life, and
Yeah.
it really exceeds that. So I think when you first discovered Shrikant's story, uh, in your mind, how did that story equate to it being a film? How did you necessarily go through that process of actually dissecting it and making it into an effective story on screen?
So Anuj, my first film also biopic. My next show I made, which I directed, was Scam. Another it's based on true life person. I don't call them biopic. So that's the reason when you ask me and you ask me why I don't call them biopic, is the same reason that when you say how do I make it into a film. So once I meet these characters, right? So I always say I'm not making a biopic. I always say that clearly. Once I meet these people, I spend some time with them. And in that time, I first of all, it's not just their story, but I also look at the attitude in life. So maybe Shrikant. Obviously, I didn't meet Tegi, but I had a lot of materials. I saw that. But maybe the Dadis or Shrikant when I met him, like Shrikant, let's talk to Shrikant. When I met him, I spent 3 days with him, and I realized what kind of a man he is. And he's a businessman, and he's quite, and he's like more. You forget that he's visually impaired. You think a normal man is doing his business every day. The kind of work he does, he's just mad. So I basically I find out, I sit with them, try to realize their entire attitude towards life, and then ask them about their lives very nicely, as comfortable. First time when I meet them, I ask them very nicely, tell me what you think and what is your life, tell me your life. I just record this. Then next time I become a little friendlier to them and then I say, you are hiding something from me, like a lawyer would do. You better be honest with your lawyer and tell him everything that you have to. And then they tell me the bad part, and then I try to convince them to use it. So in this, when you see Shrikant, it's not just because he's visually impaired, he's not God. He does everything like a hero. He's got his ups and downs. He's got his ups, but we have also shown his downs, his flaws. When you see his flaws also, you'll be shocked because that's what I want to show, that everybody is a human here. And he doesn't need your sympathy. He's just like you and me. It's not that I'm interested to show his flaws, but it does makes you as equals. It does make him and you as equal as me. So, and then he makes it in life. So that's what I do. So I always fictitize it and make it according to me that I can entertain people with it.
Right. I think the casting in your films have always been a very big subject of discussion. I mean, Saand Ki Aankh, rose an entire different conversation about casting, especially of senior actors in the industry, especially for the roles that were there. I think you casting Gagan for Scam 2003 was brilliant. I think that was a very good
Let me
master.
just hold you there. I didn't cast Mr. Ansel Mehta and Mukesh Chawla cast Gagan.
Absolutely. Well, still a
I
master.
didn't cast him.
Yeah, you didn't
I was
cast him.
given to him on my. I was given to him. Yes, I made him put on weight. I didn't start shoot till he put on weight because last time I burnt my fingers with Saand Ki Aankh about the same thing about women not. So now I made sure that he looked like Tegi, and he did once he did put on.
Right. And now again with Raj in Shrikant, I think it's a very interesting casting choice. So again for you, when you are getting these actors on board, आपके जहन में एक cast होती है पहले से ही, या do you think this changes as you develop the story?
I actually wanted Raj from day one because I've been seeing his films and the kind. So I tell you what, a lot of people now have seen the promo and they're saying, "Wow, well, Raj looks like Srikant. His body language, the way he's acted, everything." But for me, Raj is such a good actor that it's not just the way Srikant's body language or the way he looks or the way he talks or the way, but it's the attitude of Srikant that he got. That is
Hmm.
most important when he played Shrikant. He's just taken that entire attitude and put it in himself, and he just become. That's where he's actually become Shrikant. Not just the body. That's great what he does, but this he's internalized himself into Shrikant, and that's what makes it so great. And Raj such a fine actor.
Hmm.
Because
And I think.
any role you see of him, he doesn't look like Raj. He looks that character. Why? Because he catches that attitude.
Hmm. And I think, uh, when we're sort of seeing the sort of films that are doing well, you have the mega blockbusters that are there, but I think also these very strong human interest stories have really piqued the audience. I think people are really relating a lot. Uh, for a film like Shrikant, because obviously it's a very modest budgeted film. It's not like a big blockbuster in that sense. I think it's big in its in its soul and what it's trying to tell, of course.
Thank you so much. You love
But
that.
and I think your fondness for directing human interest stories. So firstly, tell me two parts of the question. ये human interest stories की इच्छा बनाने की कहाँ से आई है? And also in terms of box office and the sort of films that are doing well or not doing well, how concerned are you about that at this point in the industry as
So, as I don't know if you know, so I have a company called Chalk and Cheese, which in that my wife is the producer, right? And Nidhi Parmar Hiranandani. So she's very good at this. She finds these true life incident stories and characters, and it may be a. It's not only now. It's not about just a person. So she finds like my next film is also again based on true story. It's the first batch of Indian Army ladies, and she
well?
went. So that's fun. That's another film that I want to be making, and we've written it. Sumiki Suresh has written it, and we are casting and starting it. It's called Ragda Pachis. So Nidhi gets these ideas to me. So whenever she gets it, Anuj, if I react body, I'm a person who easily cries or laughs. If I and
Mhm.
when she tells me, she makes it like she can narrate a story in one. She'll write a page or she'll do something and she'll read it out to me. And if I cry or laugh, and I'm entertained, then I go ahead and make it. Because if my body reacts, I know this is the right thing. So that's your first question. That's how we create. And we want to make our aim in Chalk and Cheese is to make good films, and I want to enjoy while making it. So I wanted to retire at the age of 45. And people and retire and people play golf or do the things like read books and to travel and what they enjoy. I'm actually retired and making movies and I'm enjoying making it. So that's the process. I'm taking it as and want to enjoy it. And your next question, of course, box office does matter. But I'm not, like I said, I want to enjoy. Nidhi takes care of the box office. We just hope we make enough money to make our next film. And
Hmm.
that what matters and becomes little bigger and bigger and bigger. And we at the end of the day, when Chalk and Cheese, we have done enough and the kind of films also we are producing other films. We make content films that people realize that this is one company who made this kind of films and we are very happy with that.
Right. But what key lessons would you say came handy for you from Saand Ki Aankh for Shrikant? Because I think Saand Ki Aankh was actually not a bad film. I mean, I think it was quite a decent movie. I loved the stories of the shooter daddies. I think that was very fascinating. So for you again, what would you say have been the crucial learning points from,
So the
yeah.
first day of Saand Ki Aankh, everyone knows was just 20 lakhs, and then we went down to make 25 crores, which is unheard of. Which is like if a movie starts at 20 lakhs and you expect it to finish at 1.5, 2 crores, but it went down to make 25 crores. That gave me and Nidhi and a lot of other people faith in us that we got a confidence with Saand Ki Aankh for sure, and that we can make these kind of films that we want to. Otherwise, we would be playing golf or doing gardening somewhere at the moment. And so we went ahead, and now, like I said, we are just enjoying making this. And people, I think if Shrikant does well, people will have more faith in us, and we will get
Mm,
to make more stories like this and enjoy this. And so does people. And I love it that when people meet me and tell me, that you made this film, and my mother or grandmother loved it, and when I talk about Shrikant, I know a lot of people with persons with disabilities will connect and people will come and tell me thank you. It does makes me so happy. Like the first show, Saand Ki Aankh, that I went and saw it was in me, Bhumi, Tapsi, and Nidhi had gone to see. People had come with all, those, with the drip and seeing the film in their hand, old people. And people had got their parents on wheelchair. And I was just happy. I was so happy seeing that day.
Yeah. But where does this hope come from? Because again, Shrikant had hope. Um, Saand Ki Aankh had hope, and I think also that whole theme of second chances and not allowing the first sort of innings of life defeat you. Do you think that somewhere also personally you've kind of felt that what the sab kuch mumkin hai zindagi mein? Do you think that
Anuj,
sort of notion has translated?
Anuj, thank you. You have made me realize what is happening in my life first time. So it is, yeah. Actually, thanks a lot, buddy. You just made me realize that, yes, my first inning, I was a writer. I was not too happy about it. I'm not too, but I enjoyed it. I enjoy everything that I do. But
Yeah.
like I said, this is my second innings, which like I wanted to retire. I made enough money. I'd worked for a company. So did my wife. I could have easily retired. But now this fun. I always wanted to become a director, but I never could. But now with these kind of films, I'm enjoying it so much that it's like great. So it's not, you're right. It's my second innings. It's just that hope, the same hope that you're talking about. We are looking to make each and every film that we make next.
हाँ बट फिर भी बहुत कमाल की चीज मैं बता दूं आपको you worked on some of the biggest sort of what we would call pot boilers, right? Like biggest commercial hits that have been there, even a film like Houseful to Double Dhamal, even the Mastis, but yet whilst you were writing that, you still managed to fuse that human interest. I think for you as well, Tushar, whilst writing back then as well, ये human interest जो एंगल था वो कितना नेचुरली आया आपके लिए?
I think I've seen too much in my life, so I relate to this human interest here. And to be honest, even these films that I am directing today, I never write my films. Jagdeep Sidhu and Sumit Purihat have written it. So has Jagdeep Sidhu written my first film. I don't think that my film is different or anything. I just think that this film is also commercial. When you see Srikant, you will see banging music. You think it's a Rajnikant film. I treat them like heroes. That's what I know, and I try to make it entertaining. And I never think that this is a big film or small film. That has never been while I was writing it also. I never took the pressure, oh, I'm writing a big film, or when I'm writing Atithi, it's a small film, or ABCD. For me, all the films were same. It's either a good film or a bad film. So I've never
Right.
thought that. And that's how I work because I've been honest to that whenever I've written a film, I make sure it's the best that I can do and it gets made. That's what it is.
Wonderful. Well, look, Shrikant is a very sincere and soulful film, and I can't wait to catch it, or people to see more of it and to hear the reactions as well, Tushar. Thank you so much for joining us on filmishilmy.com, and it's been such a pleasure having you, and
I just
congratulations.
have one request that whenever you all watch this film, please tell your families and friends to see it further and further and pass the word on because it's one film that your entire family will be happy seeing this film.
Oh, we will do. In fact, I potentially think this could be one of the best Hindi films of this year. I mean, given that we had Lapata Ladies as well recently, which really champions that underdog spirit. So I'm looking forward to catching this one. And I think it's great to
Thank,
see such films get the cinema space as well. So thank you so much.
thank you.
Thank you, Vishal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.